Racket sports date back many centuries. From early times, man had played games based on hitting a ball back and forth in an enclosed area. Known as royal or court tennis, it was the grandfather of tennis as we know it today. Around 1873, a new and improved version sprang up in Wales. It was an outdoor game, played on grass, with women playing it too. A Major Wingfield devised a set of rules, and by 1877, the first serve was cracked at Wimbledon's All-England Club. Each year, the game drew more interest as play spread across North America. Here in Victoria, well-to-do tennis enthusiasts added courts to their gardens. And then in 1885, our first tennis club was formed. By 1887, the club had 2 courts open for play, complete with seating for the mostly female spectators, who saw a Mr. Hancock defeat a Mr. Comby to win the club's BC Challenge Cup. In 1890, Toronto hosted the first ever Canadian Tennis Championship tournament, while here in Victoria, Miss Musgrave from the South Cowerton Club won the first BC Ladies title. The following season, James Folks earned his first of 8 BC Championship titles when he partnered with Albert Goward after men's doubles and mixed doubles events were established. In 1899, the club hosted an exhibition between 3 crack American players, including Dwight Davis, who went on to start the now famous Davis Cup competition. Tennis activity increased to a point where an upcoming star player, Robert Powell, initiated the formation of a Pacific Northwest International Tennis Association, which included 6 clubs from Canada and the United States. In 1908, Powell was studying in Britain when Folks joined him and became Victoria's first Olympic athletes at the London Games. Although they didn't win any medals, Powell went on to win the All-Scottish singles and doubles titles. Here in Victoria, with 200 members sharing 3 courts, the Victoria Tennis Club relocated to a new, larger location on several acres purchased at the corner of Fort Street and Foul Bay Road. The larger facility generated further enthusiasm, and more tennis clubs were formed around Victoria. These included the Hollywood, Hillcrest, Canadian Pacific, Burlith, Caledonia, and BC Electric Railway tennis clubs. Back in 1891, the Victoria Electric Tram Company had extended its Fort Street line from the junction along Ope Avenue to the beach, where affluent Victorians built summer cottages amongst the shade of the large Garry Oaks. To increase the use of the line, the company built a much-needed fenced-in sports park, which included a grandstand that seated 2,000. The park proved very popular for field lacrosse, soccer, rugby, and bicycle racing on its cinder track. By 1897, the BC Electric Railway Company had taken over the streetcars and sometimes promoted sports events by including a return streetcar ride in the event ticket price. In 1911, both the Victoria and Vancouver streetcar companies had tennis clubs for their employees. The Vancouver Club was located way out on 41st Avenue. Here in Victoria, BCER built 2 courts in a formidable tangle of bush on their property, which is now Oak Bay's Windsor Park. The BC Electric Railway Tennis Club was officially declared open by Albert Goward, the company manager and later vice president, who joined 3 others for the opening match. That was followed by the first Oak Bay Tea Party, served by the ladies, which established the club's tradition of combining social events with tennis. This may also have been the start of the annual Tea Party event that's held each June. Streetcar company employees volunteered on duty rosters to maintain the courts while executive committees organized the tennis matches and social functions. Oak Bay's interest in buying the park was put on hold during World War I, and when negotiations resumed after the war, tennis club members began searching for a new location. Around the same time, the streetcar company bought land on Bowker Avenue for a proposed line to the new Upland subdivision. When the owner of a key parcel refused to sell, the company instead extended its Willows line. No longer having any use for the Bowker property, the tennis club gained the use of it, and by 1923, it was home to 2 new courts and a clubhouse. Shortly after, the whole area was zoned for single-family homes. The new courts had a clay surface, and that meant no play in wet weather. The original net posts were cut from railway track, as the company supported the club by paying its taxes, utilities, and construction costs. One of the highlights of Victoria's social scene was the club's annual opening day and club tournament festivities, which of course included high tea. An annual exchange competition with Vancouver's club saw the members travel to the mainland on a CP steamship, leaving on Saturday morning and returning on the Sunday midnight boat out of Vancouver, which got them back here just in time for Monday morning work. During World War II, the number of tennis clubs here in Victoria dwindled from 20 to just 3. Even with membership cut to just $10, members were hard to recruit. Peggy McNeil was club president for 8 of those years and had some success in attracting members by recruiting outside the BC Electric Company. Although the club remained viable, mainly through a junior development program headed by Peggy and Howie Tooby, it was suggested that if 55 members wanted to keep the club going, they should lease, rent, or buy the property and operate it as a private club. The BC Electric Company offered to sell the club and property for $10,000, a pretty large sum back then. Ivan Temple was club president when the first of several committees studied the options. For the next 3 seasons, the club survived by simply paying the taxes and upkeep, but their time was running out. In 1962, the BC Electric Company became part of the new BC Hydro Authority. The tennis club had to make a quick name change and come up with funds to purchase the property within 4 years. Fortunately, Howie Tooby worked in the Ministry of Lands and Forests and got his minister to help with the negotiations. The selling price was $9,000, a $2,000 down payment, and a $7,000 mortgage. The down payment and the initial mortgage payments were covered through the sale of $50 membership certificates. The club became the Oak Bay Tennis Club. Those initial members were recognized as charter members. As more certificates were purchased and new members joined, the club's finances improved. A 4th court was added. They were all paid, and the mortgage was paid off. The little club that could, did, but it didn't stop there. When our weather often left the blacktop court swimming in water for months on end, the club members raised the money to have them resurfaced with waterproof porous concrete. The original May to September tennis season was extended to March to October, although more and more members began playing throughout the winter. Social events associated with the opening and closing tournaments and tea parties are a vital component of the club and have been celebrated by court jesters such as trumpeter Woody Woodland. After a lot of sometimes heated debate in the 1980s, the club's traditional all-white tennis attire policy was rescinded, and they began serving hamburgers with their tea. After half a century of memories, repairs, and renovations, their clubhouse reached the end of its useful life and was demolished. With the help of Oak Bay Municipality, the new clubhouse, designed by Terry Williams, was opened by Mayor Doug Watts in 1985. The new building gave the club a new lease on life, and social events as well as tennis play flourished. A junior development program added new members, while an adult development program gave older players new skills and new friends. Season-ending awards began in 1914 with the men's singles Goward Cup. In 1932, the ladies' singles trophy was added, followed by the ladies', men's, and mixed double cups in 1934. Junior and Veterans Awards were added in the 80s, but the most popular was the Oak Bay Davis Cup, where team uniforms of a chosen country are the dress code. However, the club's most prestigious award remains this Tea Service Award. For 100 years under 3 names and through times good and bad, the Oak Bay Tennis Club has hosted literally thousands of tennis players of all ages. The club has also been an integral part of Victoria's social scene. We are proud to now recognize a century of dedication to the sport of tennis as we induct into the Greater Victoria Sports Hall of Fame Victoria's original and still going strong tennis organization, the Oak Bay Tennis Club.
First, I would like to congratulate all the inductees whose names are being enshrined in the Greater Victoria Sports Hall of Fame this evening. We at the Oak Bay Tennis Club are honoured to be counted among such august company. I would also like to thank the Greater Victoria Sports Hall of Fame for inviting the Oak Bay Tennis Club to be inducted, and also to offer our gratitude to the sponsors who make this occasion possible. As the current president of the Oak Bay Tennis Club, I'm indeed privileged to be the one accepting this honour from the Greater Victoria Sports Hall of Fame. The Oak Bay Tennis Club, as you can see, is a bit of an anachronism nestled in the heart of the Oak Bay neighbourhood. You wouldn't know it was there unless you peered over the Bowker Avenue gates. This year, 2011, we turned 100 years old, and we've had quite a year of celebrations with a dance on Centre Court, an old-time fun tournament, and the Oak Bay Tea Party Parade. And this induction this evening has been a culmination of a year of celebrations. So I want to thank you from the bottom of our collective hearts for this wonderful privilege and a wonderful way to begin the next 100 years. Thank you.